And I say welcome to another episode of MixxDrinks, when we bring the best in entertainment from our hood to yours. You're welcome. It's been a minute. Happy to be back, you know what I'm saying? And as always, I got something fresh and new for you. Without further ado, I bring to you my man, Deep Side in the house.
Yo, what's going on, bro? What's going on? How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing?
We good. So let's get right into it. As always, as the show grows and grows, I love when artists reach out to me, and I get to learn about them, and I get the opportunity to bring both our worlds together, because that's what it's all about. It's not you being a guest on my show or anything like that. It's us showcasing each other to each other's people.
Hell yeah.
And, my fans getting to see another dope artist, man. So, first and foremost, tell the people where you're from.
So I grew up in San Angelo, Texas. That's West Texas. So a lot of people don't really know about West Texas too much. It's a lot different than like Houston or Austin or anything like that. It's like a nowhere town.
What is it close to?
It's closer to San Antonio, Dallas, but it's still a little ways away. There's a range of mountains like in between El Paso and where I grew up, and we're on the other side. So it's not on the El Paso side, but it's like central West Texas. Just hot, bunch of mesquite trees out there. Mm-hmm. And then I lived in Baltimore for about a year. I joined the military whenever I was like 18.
Okay.
And then, just been traveling, doing that, and doing music and stuff, growing my brand, meeting great people like yourself. And I lived in San Diego for 2 years. And
so did you come here from the military? Did the military get stationed there?
Yeah, I did. So I've been stationed out here for 2 years. And then before that, I lived in Baltimore, in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. So I did work in both cities.
You've been in some spots, man. Baltimore and
it was fun. It was fun.
It's definitely different than...
It was some hood shit out there.
Yeah,
it's really
the backwoods. It's definitely different than the backwoods of Texas.
The first club I ever. Yeah.
So what brought you into hip hop? So being where you from, is it hip hop heavy in the area in Texas you're from?
So it's like it was pretty big with like Latinos where I grew up.
Okay.
Where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of like So it's like where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of like black people. So it was just like white people who were usually like pretty rich, and then there was like the Latino community. And in Texas, it's a lot different than like I say California. I say like out here with like Latinos and white people, it's not as tense, but like over there it was more tense. Mm-hmm. But when I was growing up, like my parents, we didn't have a lot of money for like a while. My dad is a pretty successful businessman now, but like back when I was coming up, like it wasn't really like that. So, and he was a single father, so a lot of the times I was just left alone. And so I started rapping. I was going through stuff with my family, and I started rapping because that's how I found my voice as a person. It was like a way for me to kind of vent. And at school, like all the kids that I hang out with, because I hung out with like the Latino kids, and I was like, oh, like I'm gonna learn how to rap because I was trying to fit in, and I just ended up loving everything about it. I like the way it makes me feel whenever I get on the mic and I start talking, and I'm like, oh wow, like this is my superpower. Almost like really gave me a voice. A lot of kids used to bully me, but I was real young, so it just became my passion. And started when I was 13, started taking it seriously when I was 14, and then I just haven't looked back since. There's been times when it's been like I could have given up, but I just kept going, and it's all for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's dope. So this is interesting because your style, you know what I'm saying, it's dope style. I like it. It's a party style. You spit for the ladies. You also, you got bars at the same time, but you got stuff that you could hear. You could hear something like that's gonna be on the radio, and you can see it getting that that top 40 love too.
Yeah.
So who inspired you? So coming together, like who inspired you? P. Dumb loud, dude.
Yeah. So when I was young, I really liked. Like the first rapper I ever got into was Eminem, like way back in the day. My dad really liked him, so when I was a kid I used to bump him a lot, and then I started rapping, and I would try to like rap like him, and then that's when the bullying at school started. People started calling me Slim Shady, and I was like, man, fuck Eminem. So I started listening to like what was popping at the time. When I'm pretty young, so I'm only like 21. Mm-hmm. So whenever I was in middle school, like the biggest rappers were like Ski Master, Slump God, XXX Tentacion, and XXX Tentacion became like the first big artist I really got into. But I got a little bit older. My favorite rapper of all time is Tupac Shakur.
Okay.
I think he's just the best. And if not him, it's Kanye West, Jay-Z, Drake. I love Future. I love Kanye. I know Kanye's discography like the back of my head. He's a little crazy now, but
no one can
he's a
deny
legend.
who Kanye was in the beginning. The music he made, the music he produced.
But you know,
I'm a fan of all this stuff. You know, especially all his old stuff.
Yeah.
You know, something's going on.
I still like his new stuff too, though. Like,
I don't. It doesn't get showcased as much as his old stuff used to. So
yeah,
but I'm sure he still got it in him.
No, he's still great.
You don't lose that. He has a gift. That kind of gift that you don't lose that gift.
I still love Kanye. The only thing that I really don't like about Kanye now is like the anti-Semitism, because I got a lot of friends in the Jewish community, so it's just like, you know, I gotta be like respectful of that.
Respectfully. I mean, because I think, you know, really he's at this point personally where he likes the shock value.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the kid that you know, whether he's getting in trouble by you or getting praised by you, you're giving him attention and tell him that's enough. I just think he likes the attention. He doesn't get the same attention that he once did when he was, you know, on top as an artist.
Yeah.
And I think he just that's how he stays relevant now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he can't believe half the stuff that he's saying, man. The way he grew up and where he grew up from and how he was raised.
Chicago,
there's no way, you know, that he has those kind of thoughts.
Yeah. I love Kanye though, but what really inspires me honestly is just like life. Like I always felt like music is just like emotion. So it's like if you could capture like a feeling and you could put that on a record and you can make the record feel like that, then it's like that's the record. So when I lived in Baltimore, like I was really inspired by a lot of the artists that I've met. You know, I go and where I grew up in Texas, it was a smaller town. Like our struggle was like a lot different than out there. So like that was like the first time I ever went to the projects and I would perform out there. I would perform in like unmarked clubs, like where there was like,
what was that like?
It was amazing. They showed me a lot of love. I didn't ask any questions. I just went in there. I bought hoodies. Like they'll buy my hoodie. I was like, okay, bet. And then they let me perform. I give them like $100. They play my shit in the club. And my good homie Wes, he hooked me up with this club. And then I got another homie who he recently got locked up, but he had owned his own studio out there. It was a basement studio, so I used to go in there. That motherfucker taught me how to sing. He's teaching me how to do like different melodies and stuff in the way he did, and he managed like
sound, huh?
Yeah, he worked with Meek Mill's team. So through him, I met like Kevin Lyles, who signed the Migos.
Everybody knows Kevin Lyles. He's fucking big mogul in hip hop, historic mogul in hip hop.
He's great. I love like watching his stuff. He really inspires me. Him and I think Lior kind of is like, but I like the business side of Def Jam, like the original Def Jam crew.
Lior, to say what you want about Lior, a lot of artists would not be the artists that we hear today if it wasn't for Lior Cohen. And you know, wherever he's at now is where he's at. Yeah. But in the beginning, Lior Cohen is responsible for as far back as Run DMC.
My Adidas.
They would say, which is the godfathers of hip hop, the first people that actually perform in an arena. I'm gonna give you a tidbit you probably didn't know. Run DMC was actually the first rap group to make a multi-track album.
Really?
Before then, rappers only came out with like one song and then you had a B-side.
Really?
That was it. And sometimes the B-side was just your instrumental.
But it's just like Sugar Hill Gang type thing?
Yeah, then the other side would be like just the instrumental to Sugar Hill Gang. Yeah. So they were the first person to have multi-track album.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons said they were going to do it. Nobody believed that shit because hip hop at that time wasn't even considered a real genre. It was kind of like, you know, something they thought was going to come and go. So,
yeah, it was
Run DMC goes way deeper than just the early hip hop.
Run DMC is great.
First people to tour with like rock groups and stuff and just still get love and pack arenas and
I like this story I heard where he was talking about like how he got Run DMC signed. Is like he brought these Adidas reps to the store and he was like, yeah, like everybody raised up my Adidas and that's how they got a fucking deal, because everybody was wearing Adidas there, and they were the first rappers to get like a shoe deal, I believe. Yeah,
they were. So and Lior Cohen was like helped them bring them to the next level. He helped them get on a Live Aid tour that was like a multi-million-dollar tour. They were the first people to get money, real contracts, became rich off of it. Yeah, Lior Cohen is dope. as time progresses, and
he got more like vulture, but I like
everybody changed, man, in hip hop from the beginning to where Leo's at right now. So
I've been so inspired by that era, like the old Def Jam stuff. Like I started getting into like, do you see the Pharrell movie?
No, but I want to though. I heard it was dope.
It's so good. It was inspiring. Like, and I started peeping like Noriega.
Yeah, Nori.
Super Thug. I started listening to that record. I was like, wow. Like,
first of all, Nori.
I've been getting into some Consequence, like just some old school.
Well, Pharrell brought Nori sound back. He was with a little gangster thug group, and Nori was like considered really mediocre. Then he got down with this producer, and Pharrell like changed his whole sound.
Yeah.
And Nori wouldn't be Nori without Pharrell. He says it all the time. He says it himself. So
yeah, Pharrell's.
But they were great for each other. But at that time,
that movie made me tear up a little bit because like Pharrell, like he was so inspiring, like with the way he described music and like everything like that. Because I related to him a lot in like the way he perceived the music. He's talking about how like he was like so mesmerized by it, and he'd look at it and he could like see colors and like that's kind of how I see music. Like every time I could see the song in my head, like when I hear it, and then like I just feel so passionate about it, and like the way he was describing that passion, it was like wow, like I never heard nobody like kind of describe how I felt about music until I watched that movie. So I definitely would recommend.
Yeah, I definitely.
And you get to learn the record, like the history behind like a lot of really big records, like how he linked up with Snoop, with Jay.
Yeah,
Jay-Z is.
Yeah, Jay-Z is, always will be considered a god of rap to me.
Yeah.
Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, I know it sounds cliche, but that's my holy grail.
Yeah, no, Jay-Z is like the GOAT. I always loved Jay-Z because you could see him for the business side, and you could also see him for like the rapping side too. And
yeah, the rapping side, when he was just about rap before business came involved, people forget, man, for literally like 10 years straight.
Yeah.
He would give you hits and platinum albums, like a platinum album like every year.
Yeah, he was like, he did the Drake model before Drake did Drake.
Yeah, I mean, before, yeah.
I think he was like the first big commercial rapper. Like, I mean,
yeah.
You had Biggie and Tupac, but I mean like...
he was the first street rapper that, was able to play both sides. You know what I'm saying? And still be respected on both sides.
Yeah.
You could take any side you want, but to keep the respect on both sides, it's hard to do, and he mastered it.
When I was in the Middle East, I was deployed out there, and like I was out there for months because we were in combat and stuff. So whenever I was out there, I downloaded every Jay-Z album. I started going through it. I was listening to like the Blueprint, and then I got into Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt, second favorite album.
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt is amazing. I love the Foxy Brown cuts on there too, like the way.
Oh yeah.
And then you start to see like the way. The foundation of how the new generation kind of makes the songs too. So like as I've gotten older, like I still study. I've always studied the game and like the way the songs are made. So like when I started off, with like what was popping, and then like what's popping doesn't really change it. I mean, it changes, but like essentially everybody's trying to ride a wave, right? But if you go back and you listen to those old foundational records and you build that foundation, it's really easy to kind of translate that into
and that's
modern day record.
That's in any genre. With any genre you're in, if you want to be a punk rock artist, you want to be a reggae artist, you want to be an R&B artist, do your history, man, because it's a reason why it's still here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and it's always cool to find out, what was popping 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Funny enough, it's crazy that hip hop is like 50 years old now, but yes.
You know what I like about like the old like 2000s hip hop? I liked how musical it was. Like I feel like hip hop really hit its peak. Not its peak, but that's probably not the right thing to say. But like the way musically, the old records they used to do it in like the early 2000s. They had like these big like synths, or they had like a lot of violins, and like it was a lot more competitive. I'd say hip hop like, and that's why I got to give props to like Kendrick Lamar for kind of shaking things up a little bit, because it's gotten a little bit stale on the production side, because everybody is making beats just on the computer.
Right.
Nobody's playing instruments, but like if you look at those old tracks, like the way they were built up, and they have like their own feeling, and like,
even the samples were from actual bands. You could hear it together. It was for real bands and groups played together, and they blended together to make a beat. If you listen to like old productions from like DJ Premier and Pharrell and a lot of like the greats, To watch them like produce a song and what
Timberland.
Oh, even the RZA from Wu-Tang, you know.
Yeah.
Watch how watch them make a beat from the start to finish, and you'll be astonished because you're like, he made that.
Yeah.
From just that little small sample, he made into that.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal. Like for me, is like right now I don't have the budget to do it, but like I would love like for my first tour, like if I get signed or something. Like I was watching Kanye do his first college dropout tour. He had like fucking violins and shit next to him, full band. He had John Legend singing. I was like, that would be so dope to bring that back and perform with like a full orchestra and you're just in there rapping.
Sick.
I saw Rich the Kid do it like he did Plug Walk with a symphony and it was like really goofy, but like I love the idea behind that because like nobody brings like
it's nothing
music
about that. That's actually that's just all music, right?
Yeah.
The GZA from Wu-Tang does that. You know, there's a few artists that have done it a lot. And I don't know if you've seen what's that? Tiny Desk.
Yeah, I love Tiny Desk.
That's ridiculous.
I think Doechii is great for the way she does music, like the way she like brings everything together. I'm like, wow. To
have live music behind you, you want to see something dope. Have you heard of Scarface before, right?
I have heard of Scarface.
You watch Tiny Desk for Scarface.
Yeah.
If you've never even heard of Scarface before, you will be amazed.
Scarface is a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
I forgot he was a legend until I watched his Tiny Desk performance.
Yeah.
And I've known him from the back in the day when he was red hot.
Yeah.
When he was red hot. After he left the Ghetto Boys and he just stood alone, all his tracks with Jay-Z, everything. I saw him on Tiny Desk. I watched that. I had to save it, man. I watched it like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
But so live music is never gonna be whack. That's why I love Roots right now, the Roots and Black Thought to this day.
Yeah, I started producing for artists.
So yeah, you dabbling in
like I don't know how to make the beats. I don't know how to do all that shit. But I can sit here and I love going to the studio with different artists. Like I got a couple different artists I've been working with. Shout out like Yamamoto Boss, Dizzy, like my homie Hawk. Like I've been going in there.
I know Dizzy.
You know Dizzy?
Yeah.
Dizzy is a great guy. Like spend some good time with him. And
Dizzy did a song with an artist called Katie LaDubs.
Okay.
Who was on our show, and he actually was on his show.
Oh yeah, he's gotta come on. He's gotta come on next.
They did a song together. He did 2 songs, and one of them was with Dizzy. That's when you said the name. I know Dizzy.
I love sitting there with them and like helping them like kind of get the production right. I'll sit with the engineer. We have this great engineer named Costello, and at Soul Shake Studios, that's like the studio I've been recording at. Cause this dude, he knows the beat like the back of his hand. He can add breaks. I tell him, I'm like, yo, add like a West Coast break. Yeah, boom, 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 and then I go into the beat. And then with Yamamoto, I've been messing around with Yamamoto stuff because he picks these really nice trap beats, but I know how to fill them with like production. So I'll be like, add this random horn, and then it's like a DJ horn, and like it's all nerd shit. But I love like
I hear more people. That's like producing. Intro to producing.
Quincy Jones producing. Yeah.
That's how it starts, you know, and then you learn little by little because you have it in your head. You just don't know how to work the shit to fucking put your sound that you're hearing in your mind out, you know what I'm saying? But you and your first stage. Watching, like, I'm sure by next time I talk to you, like next year or the year after that, like, so now I produce my own shit. Yeah. I produce for other people. That's where it starts.
Well, that's how like Rick Rubin and like all of them do it. Like I remember watching this Rick Rubin interview when I was deployed, and I just download shit. And I watched this Rick Rubin one, and he's like, I don't even know how to play instruments. I don't know how to make beats, anything like that. I could just tell you how to do it. And apparently Quincy Jones was like that too. He'd just sit in the studio with Michael, and Michael would tell him what to do, and then they bring the musicians in, and the producer just brings everything together.
You put 2 geniuses together, and genius shit's gonna happen. Shout out to Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson's the
goats of all entertainment.
39
and first of all, he started as an 8-year-old and lead singer as an 8-year-old in the group, and never stopped making hits till he died. So let's talk about that. That's like 50 years of hits.
Yeah, I'm reading his book right now. He's just incredible.
If you don't know about Michael Jackson, anybody don't know about Michael Jackson.
You know, I didn't know about Michael Jackson.
Start from the beginning. People know Thriller. People know Beat It. No, go from the beginning for the Jackson 5. All through the 80s, all through the 90s, all through the 2000s. There was never a time.
His entire life.
There was never a time where Michael Jackson wasn't relevant in music.
Even when he died, he still had Janet Jackson, that song with Janet Jackson.
Nobody can say that.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody can say that.
The only person I think would be comparable to Michael is fucking like Kanye West or Drake.
Yeah, the reason why I can't say they can be because neither one of them started when they was 8 years old.
Yeah,
neither one of those guys have been making hits since they were 8.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying hits. I'm not just saying I've been an artist since I was 8.
Yeah,
I've been making hit music selling millions of records since I was 8.
Yeah.
And I died when I was 50, and I was still making hits.
The greatest, yeah. And you know, I read him.
And he was about to drop another album before he passed away.
I think he did the Escape album, like
yeah,
right after.
Yeah, it is light, but you know, if he was live, it would have been huge.
Michael's great. Like I watched. Well, I'm reading his book right now, and I was looking at the way he would practice, and he said every day I practice no matter what, and he's like my home in Gary, Indiana. His dad would just sit there with him and make him practice over and over.
Yeah,
and
he
over
he was militant,
and that's kind of
that part of the story is pretty sad, but it worked. But
yeah, no, I look at it.
But he just demanded perfection from them when they was a group, and they were great because of it.
I kind of relate to that though, cause that's how I've always went at music. Every day I'm working on something. Like even if it's not like a lot, it's like I'm just writing something, or I'm trying to find different aspects to improve. And I've been doing that since I was 14. You know, just sitting in this kitchen by myself. The first time my family found out I was making music was I used to rap in my kitchen when my dad was gone, and he walked in, and he took my phone to borrow it, and he saw like my raps. And he was like, "You make music?" And then I was cursing crazy.
So you 21. So I know your dad knows all about hip hop.
Almost like 10 years. Yeah. Nah, it was fun. Some of my best memories whenever I was a kid. Like we used to ride around in the truck, him and his friends, and listen to like a lot of like Eminem.
I remember it was red hot when he came out.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake. I mean, Eminem didn't fall off until like a couple of years ago. You know, he was still.
But I'm talking about when he dropped his first two.
Yeah.
I mean, no one had heard nothing like it and shit.
Well, I remember when that Justin, because he liked Justin Timberlake too. He put on like a lot of different rappers, and then I just remember like thinking hip hop was always like this like mythical thing. Like to me like there was no hip hop where I grew up. It was all like country and like you know, I had pop music.
That's what I'm saying. That's why when you told me where you was from, I was like very interested in how you gravitated and you got your sound, because
it gave me my voice. Because you know, I looked at hip hop and I was like, these guys are superheroes. Like they say what they want. Nobody's. I mean, at the time I didn't realize that like rappers get shot and shit. I was like, yo, they could just say whatever they want. Like,
but in the beginning, people didn't get shot.
Yeah,
you know, people wasn't dying over it.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't until Biggie and Pac till people really died over this shit.
Yeah,
that was actually astonishing. If you heard a rapper got killed back in the 90s, you'd be like, it's devastating. You know, now it just happens every other day.
I just watched the videos, and I just remember listening to the way that they talk to people, and they would say how I felt about people. Like I remember being like, yeah, fuck these people, you know, like, and like I had never had music do that to me in my life. I always loved music. Like I used to be in my grandparents' room playing piano, pretending I was a DJ or something. I used to watch like movies about musicians. I always wanted to do it, I think. But I was always like, never had the confidence to pursue it. And then I saw hip hop, and I was like, yo, like the way that they just get on there and they just say whatever they want and they don't give a fuck about anything else. I was like, that is like what I love about hip hop. Like it's like you just speak your mind. And 50 Cent, like the way he just get on there, just talk shit on everybody. He'd be like, I'm 50 Cent, like I got shot 9 times. Like,
nah, that's real, because before it used to be just about being able to express yourself.
Yeah,
and leave it right there in the music, and it doesn't translate to outside life. And you know, now it's kind of crazy with drill rap and all kind of stuff. You can say some shit now, you could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah,
if that's the rap you want to choose to.
But you know, it's like weird, because like not everybody I think gets hip hop. Like a lot of people, like at least from what I've seen, especially like white people, whenever I talk about hip hop, like they don't understand hip hop. Like they think it's all like rapping about money and like sex and shit. Mind you, I do records like that too, but I do records like that because I want to make hits,
right?
And I want people to I want music that I could play in the club.
Yeah, you gotta be rounded.
Stuff I can sing,
and that's always been hip hop.
But like I always have music too that's like more personal and like thought out. I just haven't dropped a whole lot of it because it's like I'm waiting for like to have the audience to really do that. Yeah. But I always looked at it and I was like, man, I'm gonna get on there, just pop my shit, start talking my shit, play it in the club, and you know. But like a lot of like people who don't understand hip hop, they think it's all like flash and bling, and it's like nah, like hip hop is really just like
and really it's because the machine pushes that kind of rap in people's face, and that's what the people that think that way. That's because all they see. Yeah. Not too many people are gonna go research and do the history of hip hop.
Yeah.
They're just gonna listen to the hip hop that's given to us, and the machine is gonna make sure the hip hop that they want people to hear is gonna be in people's.
Because everybody's trying to make money. It's a money making thing, but
absolutely.
Like when it was
multi-million-dollar thing.
Yeah, this is why I like what Kendrick's doing, because he's bringing it back to like its roots, you know. it's just kind of sad to see him kind of sacrifice some of that to get some of these hits so he can be super relevant. But
I gotta say it's a fine line, because I like that, but I don't like. It's almost like he's starting to sell his soul a little bit. Yeah, that's not the same. Some of the music he's making right now, he maybe wouldn't have made.
10 years ago.
When he first, but
but he's trying to run it.
But he's seeing more money, more shows, and getting more than he did before.
But the quality of the music is great. The only thing with Kendrick sometimes is that he just feels a little stale in his like production, and maybe it's his delivery, because sometimes it's like it's too much. Like thinking
then once
shit.
again the machine, because once the machine says, "Hey, we want this sound, we want another," they not like us. You know what I'm saying? We something similar to that.
Well, like music is like, it should be like a punch in the face, like it's got to wake you up, or it's got to describe something. Like you sit down and you put on music. It's like life is a movie. You got to live life like it's a movie, and so like music is just a soundtrack to people's lives.
I get it.
And so like with the records, like you want to make the records so that somebody can put it on and like, yo, this is the theme song to this moment in my life, and I think the songs that stand out in history is like, those are the ones that really.
So you hit it like a movie. Speaking of movies, you do a lot of stuff, man. You just not just an MC. You got a lot of you're like a Swiss Army knife, so to speak.
Yeah.
Tell us about Midnight Visions.
All right, so Midnight Visions. So I've been a photographer for about as long as I've been a rapper. I've been rapping longer, but when I was in high school, I love hip hop so much. I always wanted to rap and shit, but there was no industry where I grew up. Like I said, hip hop was very foreign where I grew up. It's all country. It's all
not that part of Texas. You go to the other side of Texas.
It's just fucking like it was just all like cowboy hats and shit. So like, I was like, there's gonna be no platform. So I had to teach myself. Like since I've been 14 years old, I've been trying to teach myself how the industry works and how to be my own industry, so that I can do everything I want. So with Midnight Visions, I started photography when I was in high school. I was a yearbook editor, so I started off as a yearbook photographer, and then the teacher changed, and the new teacher liked me. The first teacher didn't like me all that much. She wasn't very good, and then the new teacher liked me, and I ended up just getting really good at it. And then when I joined the military, it's a funny story. I always say my parents kicked me out, but like they weren't mean about it. And we had an agreement, me and my dad, that if I didn't go to college, I had to move out. And so at the time, I had a girlfriend who became my fiance, and then we didn't work out. I'm kind of glad I didn't get married. I was 19.
Yeah, you made it.
But she had her own place, so like my plan was just to move in with her, and my dad was like, nah, like you can't be doing that. So he started talking to recruiters, and I ended up finding this job in the military where you could do public affairs, and they'd send you to school to learn how to do photography, videography, all that stuff. So that's what I ended up doing. I enjoyed it. I joined the military in 2022. I had my Westside Queens record label that I already built up. At the time I had 15 artists signed to me. Oh, wow. And they're all underground. I was way in over my head. I was 18, but I was putting out music for other artists, helping them out, and I learned how to do photography. But when I moved back out to San Diego, Midnight Visions is actually pretty new, because I started throwing events with.
I see that you outside, super outside.
Yeah. So I started throwing events. Shout out my homie El Wapo Baby, because he's been the one mentoring me, teaching me how to do it, and he's one of the best promoters, if not the best promoter in San Diego. I mean, this guy throws legitimate huge events, and so it's an honor to be a part of that team. But Midnight Visions, I was like, how do I network? And when I was in Baltimore, I used to shoot documentaries for rappers, and that's how I'd get in the room with Meek Mill's DJ or Kevin Lyles. I met Kevin Lyles. I met big rap. Yeah, I met big rappers.
That was an honor. I hope you took a picture with him.
I didn't. I wasn't trying to be on some fan shit, but I met him. I met Gilly.
Every time
I
didn't do that shit,
I regretted it.
I regretted it. I used to be like that too. I used to be in a room with big time people. I used to be an MC, man. I used to mess with this dude. I used to be able to get us into the biggest events ever, man. We'd be head to head with some of the biggest artists ever. Yeah. I'd be on some cool ass fucking I'm just like you type shit.
Yeah, no.
And when it was all said and done, I'm like, damn, I was in the room with all these people. Not one picture.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know. I was a white kid in Baltimore, and like
enough said,
you know
right?
what I mean.
When you said Baltimore, like you was out, you were performing in clubs in Baltimore. How did that go?
It was. I would try to wear shit to fit in, but like looking back, I just laugh at myself because I was 19, you know, in there just like wearing. I was trying to wear Nike Tech so I could fit in and stuff. I started wearing shit like this because I was like, fuck it, like this is who I am. I'm gonna just dress. I'm gonna just dress like how
I'm a fan of originality, man.
Yeah,
fan of originality.
I love like the Miami style, like I love those gangster movies, The Godfather, Scarface, stuff like that. So I try to pull from inspirations for that, for like fashion. But like before, I was trying to fit in with like the rappers out there.
Yeah.
And so like I'd meet them and I'd take pictures and then I'd just do documentaries for free just to help people out. I used to go shoot events, and so that was like the pre-Midnight Vision stuff. I didn't have a page for it. And then when I started moving out to San Diego, I don't know what happened. I just started taking pictures because I met my homie Wapo, and he was like, I was like, yo, I could take pictures at your event if you just let me perform. So I was trying to get a discount on my shit, and then he ended up just kind of encouraging me to like, you know, have like my own little photography page. I had one that I started, I just left it alone, and then we actually ended up making it into a brand because it's starting to be so successful. I mean, I'm working with a bunch of different models and things like that. But I like photography more so because it gets me in the room with people that I want to meet. Then
it will definitely get you there. If somebody think you can take their picture and put on some shit and make it look good, they will rock with you all day. So that's actually a kind of a good in and shit. I kind
of look at it like,
like that line.
I don't look at it like it's like a passion, but it is like a tool. Like say there's an artist. I actually did this. I don't know if I should say this on a podcast, but there's this artist that like I've really been a fan of for. I'm not gonna say her name, but she's really great. And I reached out to her. I was like, yo, you want to do like a photo shoot? I'm trying to build up my portfolio. But it really wasn't because I was really that interested in taking the pictures. It was more because I was trying to network with her so I could make the song with her.
Dope. I ain't bad at that.
I was like, I gotta get her on a song, but I don't know how to meet her because she's like so outside, but she also does modeling. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna give her some free photos, and I'm a ill photographer. So I was like, I'm gonna just get her, and I'm gonna get in the room, make her take the photos. Boom, now I got the connection on the music side. And
I'm not mad at you because shouts out to my man ATO Worldwide that was on this show recently. We were just speaking about, as great as hip hop is, it's saturated as fuck, especially in San Diego, which people don't, funny enough, the world unless the people that rock with me didn't even know it was fucking MCs in San Diego.
Everywhere.
But it's super saturated here, and you gotta have another lane to help your hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Whatever that may be. Well, like, you gotta have more than one motherfucking trick, man. You cannot be a one trick pony and shit because
especially when you look like this, bro. Like because I mean I didn't grow up in like the traditional.
You ain't from the Bronx, you ain't from Chicago.
I wasn't from anything like that. And but hip hop, like I used to get mad at it because I was like, man, like, I'm not this stereotypical thing, but I'm like, yo, hip hop is real, like it's authenticity. If I go in there and try to pretend like I'm from this places and this place like that, it's gonna be, inauthentic, and people aren't gonna try to fuck with it. But I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna start trying to learn how to provide value in different ways because I know like if I'm so valuable, people need me, and I make myself valuable, then it's like it's not gonna matter, because mind you, where I started, people would be like kind of racist, like because it was a lot more. There's a lot more like Mexican people where I went to school than there was like white people, and so like me rapping, not having a lot of money, we get hand-me-downs and stuff from like my uncle's kids and shit. My mom would move around and stuff, so. Like my family kind of struggled like for like first couple years of my life until I was like a late teenager. So
which is hip hop, right?
Yeah. So
hip hop is struggle, right?
Yeah. So
that's where it started from anyway. Before it became bling and everything, hip hop was struggle, man, and that's how most people found a way to eat. So
and people would hate on me like
without
hard,
even knowing
man.
You hip hop, and so
people used to say my rap name in class and try to like fuck with me. People made memes about me and. My first ever fight was because this dude he made a meme about me, and then I pressed him, and then like he started doing like some disrespectful ass shit to my girlfriend, so I just beat his ass. But we're super cool now. He's a nice guy. He's like married, but like that was my first ever fight, and like I remember, but like motherfuckers before that fight people always used to like, I'd be in class, they walk in, they say my rap name, and it wasn't on some like term of endearment shit. It would be like to make fun of me, because it was like asshole fucking rich white kids, and so like I would be like, ah, fuck you guys, and so like I would just go harder on the rap shit, because I was like, nah, fuck y'all, like
use this fuel, right?
I was like, yeah, like y'all are gonna hate on me so much, I'm just gonna become the best rapper in the world, like so like it's always been like I just wanted to do this so I could just be like, nah, like if I become the best ever, or like one of the, like even if I don't become the best ever, if I become like, if I shoot for that goal and I become like one of the best ever, you know, it's like man, I could definitely get there if I put in the work and the sacrifice. And it's like, then all those fucking people, I'd be like, fuck you guys, like I'm sitting on 50 M's right now, like.
All right, man, it's about that time, man. Tell the people where to find you.
Hey, so my Instagram is at deepside999. You find my music at deepside with the $. Yeah, you know, Instagram deepside999. Midnight Visions and my record label, event company, Westside Queens. Shout out to the team. Shout out to El Wapo Baby. Call me Curtis. Mylan the Paris. Everybody who's rocked with me. Everybody who's helped me out so far. Shout out to my family, because my family is really the number one motivation. Even though I barely freaking see them, and you know, shout out to everybody who showed me love. Deepside999 on Instagram, and Deepside with a $. On all streaming platforms. Tap in.
And I know y'all are saying, I'm dying to see what this motherfucker can do, right?
They're like, he's trash.
So, you know, I ain't let you down yet, man. So,
hey.
Let's see what he can do.
Hell yeah.
Big case, Deepside, let's get it.
Sir, yes, sir.
MixxDrinks. Who wants a drink? Who wants a drink? Who wants a bar? Who wants a beat? This is MixxDrinks.
Worldwide, baby. MixxDrinks. Used to sport a Civic, now I'm driving a Lexus. My pockets getting fat, man, I think I need plexus. We been trying to shine, getting iced like a beverage. Always do it big, cause I grew up in Texas. And they still can't rhyme like me, they trying to grind like me. I'm with a movie star bitch, that's my wife to be. And I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And then beat that brakes out of pussy like Muhammad Ali. You never seen nobody this ill, this real. I make it shake it like Parkinson's, sit still. And I'm moving independent, man, fuck a deal. My homie, yeah, make it the 30, man, fuck a deal. I got a fly bitch, chillin' with no makeup on. We hit the Gucci store, but she got a Jacob on. No people hate it, but I'm still out here making songs. And she don't know all the words, but she sing along. We go on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. And yo, she either chillin' on her own or she drunk in the club. She say she like a nice dude, but she loving a thug. And she be spending all this money like she don't give a fuck. She want people like me still popping the trunk, but she a bad bitch. And the body all natural, curves like the hills, and she never get bashful. She asked me what I'm doing, I said getting this cash flow. She said, baby, come home, I wanna feel it in my. By the end of the phone call, I was already home. She said, let me freestyle, then went off of the dome. She get horny off tequila, she get angry off Patron. Our relationship is rocky like Sylvester Stallone. I'm trying to build an empire, she Cleopatra to Rome. When I'm managing the stress, man, I feel like Rome. Trying to stack up my M's, getting them platinum and gold. So if you ain't paying me money, you can leave me alone. We go on and on and on and on. MixxDrinks, on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. Deepside, on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. MixxDrinks, on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. And yeah. I want love like the Carter's feeling drunk in love. She only miss me when she drunk, think she drunk in love. But when I call her and I'm drunk, man, she don't pick up. Ever since she left, I stopped giving a fuck. Now I've been trying to get the money like every day. I need success to confess and shit, I'm tired of the wait. Living my whole life, I always knew I was great. But I'm stuck at this job, make a minimum wage. What the fuck? This ain't what they told me back in high school. I need a big house with a swimming pool. Trying to make it to the top so I can see the view. But everybody fake as hell like the Ja Rule. We got the landlord saying rent is past due. If I'm on one, then he on two. I raise a big middle finger and tell him fuck you. And now I'm kicked out and I'm broke too. On and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. MixxDrinks, on and on and on and on. And on and on and on and on. We go on and on and on and on. Ay, Deepside, Deepside, yo, run this shit up, subscribe. Yeah, mixed drinks, baby. Deep side, baby. And I'm trying to see the light, but I'm surrounded by dark. Trying to burn this place down, we just needing a spark. We've been trying to change the world, but we stuck at the start. How the fuck you showing love if you ain't got heart? I was shooting for the stars, but I crashed on the moon. I can feel the eyes on me when I walk in the room. Heavy weight on my soul, but I carry the truth. Fantasizing about life and going home real soon. But every time I hit the club, man, they don't let me go. I've been sipping on this drink, so time moving slow. They've been telling me they love me, but I don't even know. I've been numb for so long, I don't feel it no more. Cause I've been working so hard, it ain't fair that you lazy. I know people moving weight, but they slim like shady. Everybody got drive, but they don't got patience. I survived through the storm and the roads like Haitians. How the fuck you got emotion with the same old shit? You sing the same old song, you with the same old bitch. I'm still killing all you rappers on that lyrical shit. Mayonnaise colored bins, I pushing miracle whips. Like I'm Kanye in this game, I'm sorta like LeBron James. Posted on a yacht, getting stoned like it's Pompeii. Trying to fuck with us, can't even see us in the hallway. I make your hair stand up like you was wearing pomade. We the most ruthless since Eazy-E. That's why on the West Coast you can't fuck with me. I got your girl living in luxury. That's why everywhere I go women loving me. And I'm a texting in the whip so the rims is all candy. Fucking on your bitch, I gotta sing it like Brandy. And we getting money but we keep it in the family. Made it out the basement to the show at the Grammys. Y'all don't understand me but I don't give a fuck. I pull my dick out and let the whole world suck. Never got it easy, man, I always pop the trunk. Cause if life is just a game, then I'm trying to level up, you see. Mixed Drinks Podcast 2025. You see, deep side, baby. Subscribe. Hey. Rock and roll.
And another one.
Another one.
And another one.
And another. Oh, pow, pow.
Yo, you know what time it is, man. It's your man, Big Case.
Young Deep Side in the building.
Mixed Nuts is the movement. Yo,
the movement.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a goddamn friend. And tell them again. Mixed Drinks, Deep Side. Yeah.
Worldwide, baby.
MixxDrinks. Who wants a drink? Who wants a drink? Who wants a bar? Who wants a beat? This is MixxDrinks.